Good morning, everyone. This is Deb. It is a new month and a new year. This is January the 12th of 2023, and I am here to share with you a project that I plan to work on throughout the whole year. And I know that at the first, at the first part of the year, everybody has these really grand plans to self-improve and be more organized and, set goals, all that kind of stuff. And that's kind of what this project is. So we shall see how it goes throughout the year. And I won't be interrupting your day throughout the year, but I thought that I would just share with you what I've done so far, and if you were considering something like it, then maybe you would be interested in doing what I have done. So the first thing that I did was I kind of did a brainstorm, and I wrote down all these different notes, and I kind of wanted to know what my goal was. And I had kind of thought that when I first started, I thought that I wanted to do a Franken planner, which to me, a Franken planner is where you're not using a preset planner. You are coming up with your own planner. It is geared towards your needs, the things that you like, the things that you need, and how you can be more productive. So it's with your needs in mind. And I kind of also wanted it to be a catch-all. And so I did a brain dump. This is the first way I started. And I thought, well, what I need to do is set some goals. Maybe I need a vision board. Maybe I need a mood board or a tracker. What I want to focus on self-care this year. Food, mood, and moving. Oh, and also hydration. I don't know if any of you are familiar or not with the scripture writing. That's the deal now, and I kind of would like to do that, and that's basically where you write scripture. So, I mean, for years I have studied the word, and I've done different studies, and I've done individual study on my own, and I really enjoy that. But I thought, you know what, this year I'm going to focus on writing the word. So there are all different kind of scripture writing plans out there. I don't really want to do a plan. I'm going to start in Genesis, and I'm just going to write scripture all the way through. So I had considered the possibility of getting a chronological Bible, and I may do that. I may get a chronological Bible and write scripture chronologically. So, which reminds me, if you have not read the Book of God by, is his name Wayne or Hank? Anyway, his last name is Wangerin, Wangerin. It's excellent. And what he has done, it's the Bible in chronological order, but it's as a novel. It's absolutely excellent. And some of the stories I had read in there, I'm like, I don't think that's in the Bible. And sure enough, it was in there. So it's very accurate, and I really enjoyed that. So anyway, I'm off on a bunny trail. I also want to, as part of my self-care, and all of this really is part of my self-care, to help my emotional, help me to feel more emotionally healthy. A gratitude board or tracker, affirmations, reflections, goals, and I wanted something that was going to let me be creative. And then I also I want to do different food things, but I don't know, I haven't gotten that part yet, so that's why that part's empty. And another thing I want to do is have lists. So what kind of lists do I want to have? I want to list my projects that I've made, Christmas gifts that either I want to buy or that I've already made. So what our family does is we share, exchange names. And so I would, do it like that to keep track of that, because, and I probably ought to add birthday gifts on there as well, because, well, I do have that down here, don't I? Because what happens is I will make something like, I make things in the summertime, and then come Christmas, I forgot that I made that. And so then I am scrambling, trying to think, oh, what am I going to get for this person or whatever. And then I get to looking, and I made something really great, which is something that I did for my friend Tammy. I made her a really great quilt and didn't find it until the other day. So I'm like, so I need to do better at that. I'd like to have a prayer list, which I already do, but I want to have all these things, a lot of these things I already do, but I want to have them in one place. Does that make sense? In a more organized way. I want to have a to-do, to-buy list. So it's kind of like a project planning. So I'll need to list all the resources that I have, or what it is that I need to buy, that kind of a deal. Same thing for birthdays. Gifts that I've already purchased or need to purchase or to make. Notes and reminders. So it's just going to be a place for me to quickly jot down, whatever it is, so that if I have to go back, kind of like a diary, but not really, or a journal. It really isn't, because I'm not a journaler and I'm not a diary keeper. So, I thought maybe I wanted to have a brain dump area, but that's kind of what this is in a way. So it kind of combines that. Also the bucket list. I don't know, movies and podcasts, because I really like to listen to podcasts. I don't know, we'll see. So I then decided, well, maybe there are planners out there that would work, and instead of doing a Franken planner, which is what I had thought to do, I thought, well, I don't want this to be big and elaborate. Maybe I ought to just buy something that's pre-made. So I considered a day planner and said no. It wasn't customized enough. Hobonichi, same thing. No. Now, I do like the planner pads a lot. I like the way the planner pads are set up. It's very it's productive, focused, and I really like the way the planner pads are. So I even looked, and they have digital planner pads, but I think I'm gonna go with the Franken planner for now. Then I thought, well, what I really need, or what I'm thinking of, or what maybe might work best for me, would be some kind of a monthly notebook system. And so it would have all these things in here, but on a monthly basis, not daily, like a journal or a diary, but something more monthly. And so I thought, yeah, I think maybe that might work for me. And so another thing I wanted to have in there was obviously my Bible. I'm going to need that in there. And I thought, what size do I need? I don't want anything big. I don't want anything elaborate. So let me move over here to this part and show you what I did from there. So this is a notebook, or this is what this is a traveler's notebook cover, And I had made this before. And so a traveler's notebook has an elastic center, and it allows you to slide your book in and out. And that's what I wanted. I knew that. But this one isn't, it needs a bigger spine. It'd be good if it was just one notebook. But I also want to keep my Bible in there and other things. So even though I already had this one made, it wasn't going to work. So I had to make another one. And that is this one. So let me show you. This is the notebook. And I purchased a set of 12 for like 10 bucks on Amazon. So it's got a craft cover, and it has the grid on the inside. You can also get them with a dot grid, but this is graph grid. Excuse me. And I prefer the graph, so that's why I decided to go with the graph. And I'll show you more about that in a minute. But I needed something that would fit my Bible and my monthly books, and I may have more than one monthly book. Does that make sense? So I might have one that is self-care, and I just don't know yet. I'm not to that point yet. So, but I wanted to have the possibility of more than one book in there. So I knew that it needed to be that thick. Okay. So I made a traveler's notebook cover, and I have this elastic stuff that I will make to put my Bible and my books in there. Now you can buy these. I already had this one, but it's not big enough, and it squishes. It would work if the cover were a more sturdy, but this is just made out of paper. I just made this out of paper. So this is actually, what I made this out of is a Staples bag. So Staples have, when you go in and you get things printed or whatever, they give you these awesome flat bags, and that's what this is. And it was big, and so I had all these different let me show you some of the things I considered, because I wanted it to be creative. So I considered, you know, these envelopes that I got from a swap. I considered this big Arbor Day envelope. This came with this. Here are some big manila envelopes. So I considered all these, but I decided to go with the Staples bag. So look and see what you have and kind of figure it out. Now, this part is also bag, so it is folded up. This is an individual pocket that I made, and I reinforced the edges here with it's homemade washi tape. So I bought, let me show you. This is double-sided tape, and I got it on Amazon. That's where I buy everything, is Amazon. They have a deprecate Amazon wing here. But this is double-sided tape. It's 2 inches wide, And this that I have it covered with is napkins, but you could use fabric, you could use paper, and so you just you know, put your face down, you strip, you know, however long you want it, and it needs to be in manageable lengths, and you take one side off, put it down, and then just leave this one on, and then when you go to use it, then it's here we go. Let me go over here. It's like that. So anyway, I used the, oops, sorry. I used the double-sided tape to reinforce the pocket edges. And I've done a lot of sewing in this, as you can see. You want to really think about how it is that you're going to do it, because if you're going to add anything like, what do you call those deals? Eyelets, or something that you don't want to show, or if you're going to sew, you kind of want to have an idea of how this is all going to be, because you can see here, I had everything all open and I sewed it all exactly the way I wanted it. So you can see that's the inside of the Staples bag. And so I've got basically I've got a pocket on both sides. And then I will slip my elastic, however many individual elastics I need. So I'll need one elastic for my Bible and one elastic for my monthly book. And then if I put any other books in there or whatever, then I'll have an elastic for that. So I am not going to use eyelets like I did here, because I don't want to be tied down to however many eyelets I have in there. I might want to put 5 books in there. I don't know. So I'm not going to put eyelets. I'm just going to use the elastics over the edge like that. Okay, so that's my cover. And then I decorated the cover. And these are Tim Holtz 2, what do you call these things? Picture frames. They're frames. And then this happens to be a picture of one of my husband's relatives, and I thought that was awesome, so I put her on there. So that's my notebook, and I didn't decorate the back because I didn't want the back decorated. So, and as you can see here, I wanted to reinforce the edge, so I put this extra reinforcement on here. First I put this part on, and then I put this part over it. And so you need to think all these things through before you fold your bag up or whatever, because I wanted this to be sewn here without showing through there, if you get my drift. So so that's my cover. So my monthly book, one of the things that I did when I went out here and decided to look at the different digis and printables, I looked at some planner digis and different decorative, because I wanted it to be decorative. So I found ByBohoLove. So where did I write that at? See why I need organization? Here we go. ByBohoLove, and she's on Etsy. And I loved her monthly digital for 2023. I loved it. So that I decided that that was going to be my creative element, because the papers were beautiful. This is the paper from that, and I'll show you more of that as we get into it. But this is, I thought, okay, that's exactly what I want. So each month, now she has it set up to where you can actually do it in a your pages would all be in a diary form, not diary, but a planner form. I didn't do it that way. I tore all my pages so that I could, because I'm going to have one monthly book, and I'm going to put more decoration on there, but for now, so that's what it's going to look like. And then on the inside, no, here we go, wrong one. Okay. I will have different printables that I will glue onto the pages like that. This is a daily mood tracker that I got from EmotionsOmega, and I really liked it. I have since gotten another one, and it's a little different. It's more of a monthly. So you keep it daily, but it's one page. I don't have it here with me, or I'd show you. Now, also keep in mind on these digitals, there are certain things, because when you go out on Etsy and look for printable planning pages, make sure that they are printable. Some of them are intended as a digital use. So in other words, it's a calendar that you would keep on your computer. And I did not want that. I wanted to be able to print it. Also, make sure that on the download, because one that I got, and I'll show you that here in a little bit, yeah, it was a nightmare to download it. You know, and I didn't even look to see. I did not anticipate at all that she was going to send it in a Word document, and then you were going to have a link, and then after the link, then you're going to have to download it, and then after you download it, then you have to download it again to save it, and then it was like, oh my gosh, seriously. And it was a Word document, and I don't have Word. So check all those things out, you know, very carefully. Also look and see if there's a coupon code, because sometimes at the end of the listing, it'll say, yeah, you know, use this, or within the description, it'll say, yeah, we've got a coupon code, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So check all those things out carefully. So what else did I want to show you? So so I've got one per month, and I'll glue those on there and then put that in my book. Okay, so some of the other digitals that I used, I'll show you. So once I decided how it was that I wanted to do it, and I found this digital, then I knew that I was going to have other digitals that matched this. And so as you go through here, you'll see. I'll show you those. So one of I really like The Apple of His Eye by Nanda. Now, she has writing plans and digitals. I mean, and they're free. Now, there are some freebies that are really hard to access, and this is one of them. Karatooties is another one. I love Karatooties freebies, but you know, it's like a clue game trying to figure out where they're at and how to get to them, and you click on this and you got to get on that, and then you got to do something else. So I'm not going to say they're not worth it, because they are, but just be prepared. And you may do it better than me, but it's just like, seriously, you know, you got to go to start at Instagram, and then you got to go over to Facebook, and then you got to go over to TikTok, and oh, come on, it's just crazy. But anyway, I'm complaining about freebies and they're free. So anyway, I really like the things that she has, and she has a Facebook, or what am I trying to say? Well, she does have a Facebook group, a Etsy shop, and she's got beautiful digis in there too. So you may like her digitals to use for your planner. Okay. So what I did, and you know, I start pulling things out. So one of the things that I pulled out was this paper that I had been saving, and it's great to put on the backs of pages, inside envelopes, different things like that. So just pull out all the different things that you know, that might work for you, all the resources that you already have. This was an envelope that I made, and this digital is from Vectoria with an E, Vectoria Designs. Now, their digis can be very, very pricey. I think they might be on sale right now, but wow, some of them are big money. So just be prepared for that. And then I put this, because this is one of Nanda's, and you know, I've got different things in there. That's also Nanda, but this is something that I want to put in my book, so I've collected it. These digitals come like this, and I just tore off the part that I needed for my cover, and then I'll keep this to use for other things. And that's what that is. This is the digital that I got from, okay, this is the one I was telling you that it came as a Word document. And so it was from Too Sassy, Too Sarcastic. Too Sassy, Too Sarcastic. And I kind of liked the way it was. So this one, well, all of them, all the ones that are the planner, I printed them 5x7, and then I had to tear them down because there wasn't any way, or at least not for me, to print 2 to a page, which would have still been a little big. But anyway, so I printed them 5x7 and then tore them down. Now, when this is what I use to tear, because it's really thin. And I like the edges to be soft. So here's that. How kind of like helping you. These are goals. This is helping you to set some goals. Morning mindset, evening mindset, and some of these things I probably won't use, and I might start using them, and then eventually they'll go by the wayside. Physical, this is one of the pages. Weight tracker, grocery list, which I know that I won't use the grocery list because I have another grocery list that I use. But I wanted to print everything to show you so you could see what you get with it. Meal planner, which I also won't use that. Weekly check-in. weekly overview, monthly check-in. Now, I probably will use this, and how I will use it is, it'll be glued in like that. I did have to tear it down some. And then I'll fold it in. But I probably will use that. That's some of the paper that I have in my stash to remind me that I've got that, and I've used it in different places. So this is the ByBohoLove. So it also has a weekly planner, which is very pretty. Again, I probably won't use it because I don't plan weekly. I mean, I don't do anything, so. But if I did, I would put them on 2 pages like this. Or, no, I wouldn't, because that's not the way this is. So disregard what I just told you. Just back up. So this is tabs, and I've already got tabs. I've already got them cut out, and I already got this trimmed down. But the way I did it was, I folded it in half and glued it so that both sides were finished, and then I cut them out. And then these are spare pages that I will probably use to decorate the fronts with those. So these are all the spare pages, and I've as I said, I've already torn them all down so that they're all ready. I don't want to have to, you know, I don't want to sit down to start my, you know, my scripture writing or my this or that and have to tear paper or whatever. It's already done, and it's all right here in this folder. So these are all the ByBohoLove papers. And then this is more of the Vectoria Designs, which I thought it matched very well. And this isn't all these pages. I used some of the pages for other things. But I already had these printed out, and I felt like that they matched. And so I went ahead and tore those down, and I've got those in here in case I want to use them. Another set that I really liked is this one by ShabbydabbyDoodah. Love. Oh my gosh, her paper is so fabulous. I love her paper. And so that's this one. I should have told you the name of it, but gosh, I don't even remember what it is. I have got a bajillion of her kits because I love her paper so much. Isn't this gorgeous? And she's got lots of, and the thing is, too, not only does she have lots of choices, which is what I was getting ready to tell you, lots of kits out there, lots of different choices, but, oh my gosh, her digital kits are so reasonably priced. I mean, just joy. And if you have not watched her videos, she is just an absolute joy to watch. This is a piece of cardstock, and I glued that napkin. Or, you know what, that may not. It's tissue paper. That's what this is. And then here's another set, and I haven't torn this, and I haven't finished tearing it down yet, but I wanted to show you. This, oh my gosh, this paper is so fabulous. And this is called I want to say something tapestry. Anyway, it's ShabbydabbyDoodah again. She's my favorite digital. And ugh, this paper is so stunning. Oh, it's just so beautiful. Oops, upside down. So what I would suggest is that you just look and start, first of all, figure out what it is that you want to do, what your goals are, how you want it to look. You know, maybe a Franken planner is something that would work for you. And so then you need to decide what the important elements would be, what your goals would be, and how you want it to look, how you know, just write your notes, figure all that stuff out, and you know, start collecting what you already have on hand. You know, maybe an envelope system would work. You know, I bought these beautiful Maggie Holmes boxed cards, and you know, well, that's not one of them, at Tuesday morning. And aren't these beautiful? And look how well those would match. I mean, so just look and see what it is that you've got out there, or got in your stash, and go from there after you've determined what your goals are. And then start pulling out all your, you know, your supplies and your resources. So now, like, oh, here's more of the things I wanted to show you. Forgot to show you all this. So these are all the elements that came with the ByBohoLove. So it has what am I trying to say? Pockets and little to-do lists and tags. And see, I've already made envelopes. I've already made all this stuff, and I've got it all here and ready for when I start. So now, like on this one, this envelope, you could either double side the page. So when you print it, you could double side the page. You could, I used a stamp for this. I really like this alphabet stamp, and of course they're individual alphabets or letters, but here it is right here. But I like to use it whole. Even though you can take them off individually, I like to use it whole and get that whole look. I just think that's awesome. And then of course, you know, I'm using Peel Paint Distress Oxide because it kind of matches. And so these are all those elements. Here are some other elements that go with it. So little brass looking pieces or metal looking pieces. Some stampy looking deals. Labels. These little cutie deals. Little file folder looking things. So I did these file folders in just regular paper because I'll use those and I'll cluster on top of it. There are other ones that I made in a heavier, that's these, in a heavier cardstock, and I did that so that I could use them as a pocket. So I'll just do three sides, I'll glue it down three sides and then use it as a pocket. And hers also includes washi tape, all different. These are words. Oh, no, these are the tabs. So that's how I did the tabs. And then these are words. So I've got everything ready. Everything that matches. So here's more of that washi tape that I made. Here's a strip that I had left over. Here's another strip I had left over. These go in that that envelope that I made, wherever that is, it'll go in here. Like that. And so will the other words. This envelope, I glued a different paper on the inside. And so the way I do it is I glue the two together, then I cut it out. So, if that makes sense. So, but this is a little thicker, whereas the one that I stamped in is just one sheet thickness. And this is a writing board, but you could make your own writing board. This came with something that I already had. And but when you're writing in a book that's got all kinds of things glued to it, pockets and this is and that's, sometimes you need a writing board to give you that flat surface. So I highly suggest making yourself a writing board. I also looked on Amazon to see what kind of planner accessories that they had, and they had like these traveler's notebook pocket system, and I'm like, I could make that, because I have a whole boatload of these little pockets, these polyvinyl pockets that I keep all of my ephemera, my digitals that I've got cut out. I keep those in there, and I've got a bajillion of them. So I used that double-sided tape, the washi tape, and I just put them together. So now this is a signature. So it will go into my book. There's my Bible. And there's my book. And then here's another signature. And then I'll be able to put in whatever. I'm also going to make me, I haven't made it yet, but I will, a pin holder. So you could actually also put this like this, which would be kind of cute. And then you'd only have one elastic. So that might work. Anyway, so kind of figure out, go out there, do your research, figure out what it is that you want, what it is that you like, how your Franken planner or your Franken catch-all, how you would like to use that. Oh, also, I've got a whole bunch of punches, different shaped punches. I'll use those, of course, you know, washi tape, and I think that's everything I pulled out to show you. So just, you know, just look and see what it is that you've got, and figure out how you want to do it. And then, you know, I showed you I put pockets there. And then, you know, you might want like some little, you know, those little tabby deals. What do you call these? Which I've got some over there. You know, however it is. I mean, I've had this Bible ancient years, and so I felt like this, and it's in my favorite. It's the NLT. It's my favorite. Whatchamacallit, version, translation. And so anyway, I I don't know if you are interested in seeing what the individual books will look like once I get them set up. And like I say, you know, January may look completely different. I may do January a certain way, and then come February, you know, I figure out, nah, that didn't really work well for me, and so February might look different. March might look different. I don't know. We'll just see. So, but if you're interested in seeing what it looks like after I get it decorated and set up on the inside, put your comments below, and I will do that. So anyway, this is Deb. I'm going to sign off, and hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you got lots of good inspiration, and that you enjoy the rest of your day. So I'm going to sign off. This is Deb. See ya.